Let's begin with the obvious. A memo went out to your employees and your clients today about a restructuring at Bridgewater. Tell me about it.
Well, what we want to do is formalize a partnership structure so that they're able to be, there's actual rules about partnership, a designated group that is partnership. Wanted to formalize that because we're going from a company in which I led the company in this way, our ideal meritocratic way, and now we're going to something that might needs broader and more formalized partnership. So it would be like if you were going to have McKinsey as a partnership. Goldman Sachs has a partnership.
Once upon a time, they were a partnership.
They were a partnership, and then it's a good example because when they have a partnership, they still have to maintain that partnership way of being, and yet they're a public company. We're not going to have it be a public company.
Never?
But no, never, never, never. But that notion of creating a structure so that there is a partnership structure and plays a greater role needs to have some formalization, and so that's why we're real excited about it.
How will it work?
Well, we're in the process. Of figuring out how it works. But the way it is mostly is there's been a group of designated preliminary partners. There are
seed partners.
They're called 6 seed partners and 50 other partners. And
these are the senior people at the firm.
Senior people, generally speaking, but people who have been there a certain number of years, all the things that you would think would represent partnership in terms of decision-making capabilities and the like. And we, Bob, Greg, me, and all have established that group, and then they have to decide how it's going to work. So we're not part of it, so that we have the total freedom. There's a board. They will have board representation because they're there are the owners and so on, just like in Goldman in a sense where there would be.
These partners will have equity in the firm.
Have equity in the firm. A lot of them already do, but they'll continue to have more equity in the firm. And then they'll have their board representations on the board, and then the CEOs really will have to. They'll evaluate the CEOs, and so that's how it's going to work.
David and Eileen.
David and Eileen, so that that process will, operate by the partners who then report to that, and then there's a board that is overseeing that, representing also the owners, and as there's a transition. That's part of a transition process in which.
Over what period of time?
Well, we've done most of the transition in terms of equity and the like, a lot of it, and so I think that probably over the next 3 years or so, we're going to do a lot more. But most of it's been done, and we needed just to formalize their decision-making capabilities.